Striya Vaishyas Tatha Shudras Te Api Yanti Param Gatim Mami Pata Vipashritya Mamhi Partha Vyapashrita Ye Pishu Papayonayaha Ye Pishu Papuyonayaha Striyo Vaishas Tatha Shudras Striyo Vaishas Tatha Shudras Te Yanti Param Gatim Te Yanti Param Gatim Mami Partha Vipasrita Ye Pishu Papayonayaha Striya Vaishas Tatha Shudras Te Yanti Param Gatim Mami Partha Vipasrita Ye Pishu Papayonaya Striyo Vaishas Tatha Shudras Yanti Param Gatim
Mami Partha Vipasrita
Mami Partha Vipasrita
Ye Pishu Papayonaya Sri Vaishyas Tatha Shudra Te Yanti Paramam Gatim
Madhajis
Mami Partha
Vipasritya Ye Pishu Papayonayaha Striyo Vaishyas Tatha Shudras Te Yanti Param Gatim Mami Partha Vipasritya Ye Pishu Papayonayaha
Striyo Vaishyas Tatha Shudras Te Yanti Param Gatim
Mam of me he certainly Partha O son of Prita Vyapashritya particularly taking shelter Ye those who Api also Sya are Papayonaya born of a lower family Striya women Vaishya mercantile people Tatha also Shudra lower class men Te Api even they Yanti go Param to the supreme Gatim destination. So, translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O son of Prita, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, and Shudras, can attain the supreme destination. Purport. It is clearly declared here by the Supreme Lord that in devotional service there is no distinction between the lower and higher classes of people. In the material conception of life, there are such divisions. But for a person engaged in transcendental devotional service to the Lord, there are not. Everyone is eligible for the supreme destination, In the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.18, it is stated that even the lowest, who are called chandalas, dog eaters, can be purified by association with a pure devotee. Therefore, devotional service and the guidance of a pure devotee are so strong that there is no discrimination between the lower and higher classes of man. Anyone can take to it. The most simple man, taking shelter of the pure devotee, can be purified by proper guidance. According to the different modes of material nature, men are classified in the mode of goodness, like Brahmanas, the mode of passion, like the Kshatriyas, and the administrative, the mixed mode of passion, the administrative, the Vaishyas, mixed mode of passion, and the ignorance, Vaishyas, or merchants, and in the mode of ignorance, Shudras, or workers. Those lower than them, they are called Chandalas, and they are born in sinful families. Generally, the association of those born in sinful families is not accepted by the higher classes. But the process of devotional service is so strong that the pure devotee of the Supreme Lord can enable people of all the lower classes to attain the highest perfection of life. This is possible only when one takes shelter of Krishna, as indicated here by the word Vyabhashritya. One has to take shelter completely of Krishna. Then one can become much greater than the great Jnanis and Yogis. So again the verse. Mam hi pata vipashitya yepi ju papiyonaya striyo vaishas tata shudra tepi yanti param gatim. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of a lower birth, like women, Vaishyas or Shudras, can attain the supreme destination. Wenn du es nachlesen willst, Bhagavad Gita, you can give her 9th chapter, text 39. You read purport for yourself. So, Omakya Timranyasya Gananchana Salakyam Chakshurum Meditam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langai Digrim Yat Kripatam Mahamade Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Krishna Chaitanya Ishvaram Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 9.
Chapter 9 and text
32. 32. So some people, if they read this verse, they consider this is how Krishna can say low-born, sinful, and he classifies them as the Shudras, the Vaishyas, and women. So especially the women, when they read this verse, they become very agitated. Although the verse is very positive, it's a very positive message, but they don't get the positive message. They take it negatively because the word Papa Yonishu is there. No. And Nobody wants to be Papa Yonishu called in this this modern time, although they are. Everyone in this material world, in Kali Yuga especially, is Papa Yonishu, right? Papa means sin, sinful. And because of sin, we are in this material world. Even if you are not sinful, just that you are in the material world is already a sin. Why? Because we are all originally eternal servants of God, not the eternal servants of the senses and the mind, and of the family and the nation. Because this is a material conception, that I am Manodas, that I am Godasa, that I am family dasa or society dasa, servant. Or even dog das, the servant of dog, or cat das, or bird das. Somebody keep bird in the house, and serve the bird all the time. Sadhana. They also have sadhana, taking care for the dog, taking care for the cat, bird. You need sadhana, always in the right time, Otherwise they're flipping out, barking and meowing and chirping around, they will not be satisfied. So you're forced to serve. But we forget that actually we are eternal servant of God, not a servant of the animals and of the family. And this is our first occupation. This is Swadharma, the Sanatana Dharma. The Sanatana Dharma of the soul means the prime nature of the soul is to serve God. It's actually the only nature, soul nature. It has no other nature. It's like a fish. What is the nature of the fish? He needs to live in the water. You cannot put him in a sofa and in a TV, put him in TV and a nice program and computer, and he will flip out and die, because his element is water. So in the same way, the soul's element is spirit, because he's not matter. He's antimatter, he's Sat Chitananda, and therefore his natural occupation, Jivera Swarupai Krishnera Nityadas, is to be a servant of Krishna. And what is considered sin, our Adi sin, Adi means in Sanskrit original sin. Govindam Adi Purusham, the original Purusha is Govinda. So the original sin is actually that we turn our back against Krishna, against God, and we are turning ourselves to the sense gratification program in this material world, serving our body, the senses, and everything what is considered related to our body and senses. That means the family, our domestic animals, especially the dog and cat and birds, what we keep at home, and the nation, and friends and like that. So that's the original sin. That's the papa. That's why we are all in the material world. And for everyone in this material world is Papa Yonishu. Because we came here to a desire to enjoy separately of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, this is the original sin. And because of that, we turn our back against the Lord, who is like the sunshine, who is completely pure. And so we automatically come in contact with darkness, with the shadow. And if we are in the shadow or in the darkness, it means ignorance, then automatically you are accepting a false conception of life. I am this, I am that, and engage according to I told you, switch it off. Beginning already. And accordingly to that we accept different kinds of occupation or duties. And forgetting our original duty, our real dharma, like the fish dharma is to be in the water. The water dharma is to be liquid. The fire dharma is to be fiery. The soul's dharma is to love God and serve Him. And Lord Chaitanya's dharma is to spread this love to Krishna to everyone. That's his nature. That's his audarya. That's his great mercy. So God or Krishna means all good. So he's naturally merciful. He's very kind to all living entities. Not only those who are, punya. There are two kinds of entities according to their past life. Some are pious and some are considered impious. Like Brahmanas are considered pious because they're very religious, they perform prayers, yagyas, deity worship, studying the scriptures, they live a pure life, they have sadhana, rules, regulation in the mode of goodness. They're righteous, they don't lie, they don't cheat, they don't steal. They're very learned, they're very like to do good for people in general. So this is Brahmana. So he's born in the mode of goodness. The Kshatriya, as described here by Prabhupada, they're in the mode of the passion, because they're rulers, so they're more passionate. They have to control, they have to see that everything is going righteous according to the law. He has to protect the citizens, prajas, not only the man, also the animals. So he is resourceful, he's powerful. So he has, this is all has to do with the passion. And the Vaishyas, they're a mixture of passion and ignorance, as we read. Rajas, Tamas, because Vaishyas, they're also very busy, but at the same time, because they're very much on the bodily platform, always, sometimes also have to cheat for a good business or a lie. With you I cannot make profit, sir, like that, so it's... so it's also some ignorance there, bodily concept. He has to take care for his family, bodily platform. So he has passion and ignorance. And the Shudras, they're considered completely ignorant. They're in the mode of ignorance because they are servants, they're workers. So from the Smarta, the Brahmanas are mostly called Smartas. Especially in Kali Yuga, Smarta Brahmanas become very prominent. They're actually controlling what is religion, and who has a privilege, who has an opportunity to participate in religion. Who can become initiated and who cannot become initiated. So they have criteria. They make criterion. Now, who is whom to accept? Mostly they only accept from Brahmana family. Sons from Brahmana family, they accept, and those who are not from Brahmana family, they don't accept because they think he cannot be trained. But this is a smarter rule. This is not a Shastra and Mahajana rule. The Mahajana rule is Narad Muni, for example. Narad Muni, he says, to classify, or to put somebody as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, or an outcast, cannot be considered according to birth. You cannot see, it should not become considered a bird. It's considered what is his activity. And so according to the activity of a personality, he's either a Brahmana, a Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Or also even an outcast. Although you're so-called born in a Brahmana family, the Shastras say if a Brahmana is actually not following the Brahminical rules and regulations, not chanting the holy names of the Lord, and he doesn't live the Brahminical lifestyle to know Brahman and to serve the Supreme Brahman, the Supreme Lord Vishnu or Krishna, then even though he is born in a Brahmana family, he wears a Brahman thread, no, he is not considered Brahmana. He is actually an outcast, he is an untouchable. And on the other side, a dog eater was considered a lowest in the Vedic tradition. Or a mlecha or a yavana, an untouchable, or an outcast. If he chants the holy name of the Lord and takes up the process of devotional service in the association of devotees, he becomes better than a Brahmana. Because a Brahmana, mostly they only know Brahman, but they don't know what is the Supreme Brahman, Krishna. And even amongst Brahmanas, only rarely somebody becomes a devotee of Lord Vishnu purely. And amongst them, even more rare are those who are devotees of Krishna. Like when Lord Chaitanya visits South India, he came to Srirangam, and there Gopal Bhatta Goswami's parents and family was living. Gopal Bhatta Goswami is one of the 6 Goswamis here in Vrindavan. H.G.Rupa Sanatana, Vande Rupa Sanatana go, Raghuya go, Sri Jiva Gopala go. So the Gopal Bhatta. So he was born in Srirangam. There were South Indian Brahmanas and worshippers of Sriranga Vishnu form, Lord Narayana. So when Lord Chaitanya was there, he asked the discussion, Krishna Katha or Katha together, speaking Lord Chaitanya with the family, Venkata and his 2 other brothers. And they were discussing about absolute truth, because if the devotees come together, then they speak about absolute truth. Prabhu, why you are always sleeping in the Bhagavad Gita class? And in the end asking questions. Is this proper? Also, if you are tired, then you should go to sleep. Don't sleep in the Bhagavad Gita class. It's not proper. Take a rest before that you don't fall asleep. Or if the class is too boring for you, then you can come sit here and speak and ask questions, or we ask questions to you. Okay? Also stay awake, or put a little cold water on your head. Or maybe put your kabuts down, it's because it's quite hot here inside, We are not in Iceland, in the snow there. So the devotees start to, sorry, cameraman, so I had to speak about this now, but attention is needed, otherwise no speaker is needed, if the attention is falling asleep. And you especially, I notice you always fall asleep, every time. So don't do that, otherwise don't come to Bhagavad Gita class. Clear? Sorry for the strong words. So Venkata and Lord Chaitanya and the family, they had a philosophical discussion about absolute truth. And because they were Sri Vaishnavas, worshippers of Lord Narayana, and Lord Chaitanya, he was a worshipper of Radha Krishna, of course. So he asked Venkata and his brothers, why you don't worship Radha Krishna? Because Radha Krishna is the central, it's the heart of Vaikuntha, Goloka. And Narayana is just an expansion of Lord Krishna in the Vaikuntha planets. So although he is also Krishna, Narayana is also Krishna, But he's in the Aishwarya mood. That means with awe and reverence is worshipped. And the goal of the worshippers of Vaikuntha or of Lord Narayana, Vaikuntanath, is to get liberation. To get liberation, to get the same body like the Lord, to live with Him on the same planet, enjoy the same opulences like that. This kind of liberation. The Sri Vaishnavas aspire. And but then Venkatapata's argument was, but between Radha Krishna and Lakshmi Narayana is not a difference. Then Lord Chaitanya told, yes, in one sense there is no difference, but there's still a difference because Lakshmi Ji, she wanted to witness the Rasa Lila pastimes here in Vrindavan. That's Shrivan, on the other side of Yamuna. Yeah, Shrivan is also called, has 3 names: Bilvavan, Belvan, Shrivan. Remember that. So Shrivan is not wrong. Belvan, actually more known as Belvan or Bilvavan. Sanskrit, Bilvavan, Belvan, Shrivan. Because Shri is living there. Shri is the goddess of fortune. She has her temple there, on the side of the Yamuna. Lakshmi Ji temple. Many people go there, special festivals and melas going on there. So then Lord Chaitanya said, but why Lakshmi Ji, although she has aspired to participate in the Rasa Lila, why she could not enter the Rasa Lila? Why not? So then Lord Chaitanya told she could not enter because she didn't wanted to follow in the footsteps of the gopis. Therefore, even Lakshmi Ji was not considered qualified to enter the Vrindavan Rasa Lila place. She was not qualified. Not to speak of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or who else, Even Lakshmi, the most dear consort of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, she could not attain Braja Bhakti. Why? Because she didn't want to follow in the footsteps of the Brijabasi. And there are 2 kinds of Brijabasi. Those were eternal associates of the Lord, the Nitya Siddha, Nitya Parishad, like Radharani's consort, Sri Dhamma, Sudama's friends, Mother Yashoda's, Nanda Maharaj's servants and assistants who all had paternal, motherly and fatherly affection with Krishna, or the servants of Krishna. One has to follow in the footsteps of those eternal associates of the Lord. They're called Nitya Parishad. The eternal Brijabasis. But they're the Brijabasis who took birth in Vrindavan, in Braj. Because of very devotional activities from previous life. Special mercy. Somebody can take birth in Vrindavan to get the opportunity to get this most intimate and rare opportunity to serve Radha Krishna under the guidance of their eternal associates. So those were the Brijabasis, like the Mahantas, like Sri Rupa, Sanatana, Tata Raghunath, Sijiva, Gopal, and all the followers, all these great Mahantas, great Acharyas, and great spiritual personalities, authorities here in Vrindavan. They're called Mahantas. They're actually associates of Krishna in the material world, maybe, but they're here to help the living entities who are in this material world to come in contact with this Leela of Krishna. Krishna himself considered, I only share this devotional service, my pure bhakti, only with my most intimate devotees. I didn't share it and didn't give it to broadcast it to other people who were not in Vrindavan. So what to do? He actually had a regret, and out of this regret of the mercy or the greed appeared. I want to come again. I want to come again, and this time when I come again, I want to give freely this Praja Krishna Prema, this Praja Prema, to everyone, even those who are not my associates here in Vrindavan, even those who are not take birth here in Vrindavan due to devotional activities from previous life. Because with the Nitya Siddha devotees here in Vrindavan, Deva Siddhas appeared. Those were demigods who became qualified, the sages of, like for example, the Veda personified. They appeared in Vrindavan in Krishna Leela. I had opportunities. Aborigine, that's also very interesting. In Ram Leela, those of you who are aware about Ram Leela, there were Aborigine girls, ladies, in the jungle of the Dandakaranya forest. And when Lord Ramachandra came there, they felt very great attraction to Lord Ramachandra. Actually, conjugal affection. What Lord Ramachandra told, sorry, I cannot marry you, because I only have one wife. I took the vow of accepting one wife, Eka Patni Vrata. I only accept one wife, Sita Devi, and this I'm already given. So I can accept another one, but I give you mercy, I give you benediction, blessing, that next time when I come again in Dwapara Yuga as Krishna, then you will become Gopi. Just imagine, because they had such a they had such an surrender, such a love for Krishna, for Lord Ramachandra, who is not different from Krishna. Besides Krishna, Lord Ram is the most appreciated, the most merciful Lord. So they of course all forms are absolute, but there are different kinds of functions and sympathy and rasa. Rasa is most manifested in Krishna. Then after Krishna, Lord Ramachandra, because there's motherly. There's all rasas are there. In other incarnations, not all rasas are there. So, but Lord Ramachandra was so kind. He gave Aborigine ladies in the jungle, girls, jungle women. He gave them opportunity to become Aborigine gopis. So they became known as the Aborigine gopi, a group of gopis who took birth from Ram Leela's time in Braj to assist the Nitya Siddha gopis in the rasa dance and in their service, loving service to Lord Krishna. And some, of course, were the Vedas personified. Some were the Sitas, even Murtis of Sita. Lord Ramachandra, because after he sent Sita in exile, because she was touched by another man, Ravana, although this problem later on was solved, She was never touched by a man, because the pure Sita can never be touched by a man. She is always pure, so it's a Maya Sita who was touched and kidnapped. But still in the Leela, she had to go to Lord Ramachandra practically. Sent her in exile. She had to live separate. And that's the time when Lord Ramachandra performed different kinds of yagyas, because he was a king. And for that he needs a wife, Patni. Because a kshatriya or anyone, any man who performs a yagya, sacrifice, needs woman, the wife, with him on the side, assisting him in the yagya, because he is only half and she is the other half, the better half of him. So both participate in the yagya. And Lord Ramachandra, because he followed this example, so what to do? He sent Sita away. So he made a yagya Sita, Murti Sita, who was sitting on his side, assisting him in his yagya. And for every yagya, another Sita Murti was made. And what happened with the old Sitas? They were put in a palace, in a room. So with the time, thousands of Sitas Murtis were there. And then what happened? One time, all these Sitas Murtis, they came to consciousness and told him, we are your wife, Ram. But Lord Ramachandra was in dilemma, so what to do? Because I only have one Ekapatni Vrata. So he gave them blessing. Okay, next time, as Krishna, I will have many, many gopis. You will become Sita gopis. And this way, Sita gopis appeared in Krishna Lila to participate in Krishna's pastime. But Lakshmi Devi, she could not participate because she didn't want to follow in the footsteps of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. She only was curious. She wanted to keep her Lakshmi form or mood in the Aishwarya, in the Narayana feature. But Lord Chaitanya, he choked with Venkatabhata, You see, Lakshmi Devi, she wanted to participate, although she wanted, but she could not get the mercy because she was not ready to follow in the footsteps of the Prichabasis, of the eternal associates of the Lord. So this way, Lord Chaitanya, he convinced actually the three brothers in South India, in Sri Rangam, to become worshippers of Radha Krishna. So they took up Gaudiya Vaishnavism. And one, the brother Prabodhananda Saraswati, his samadhi is in Kalyagat, just nearby on the way to Madan Mohan temple. So there's this samadhi and Bhajan Kutir of Prabodhananda Saraswati, who was the uncle and guru of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami himself, he became fully Gaudiya Vaishnava, completely dedicated to Lord Chaitanya's mission. Although he was in Brahmana family. Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, they were considered, although they were Brahmana family, but they associated and they became servants of the king of Bengal, who was a Muslim. And it was tradition in that time, if you become servant of Muslim, then you lose your caste, so you become Muslim. Therefore, these Muslims became increased here in India because so many became servants, or converted into Muslims because they were first in service or they sprinkle them with water. It's saying that Prabhupada told, and this way they lost the caste. But Sanatana Rupa Goswami, they were considered Muslim, and even then, when they met Lord Chaitanya, they're actually very, very highly elevated, very intelligent, very learned. Therefore, Nawab Hussain Shah, he immediately requested them, even forced them to surrender to his service. So later on they escaped somehow or other from that service and they became followers of Lord Chaitanya. They met Lord Chaitanya, and how they presented themselves before Lord Chaitanya, they told, oh, we are so fallen, we are so insignificant, we are low-born. Although actually they were high-class brahmanas, but they considered themselves low-born. They accepted their social status that they had at that time, although that was not actually their nature, because that was not the nature what they actually had. They were Vaishnavas. So they presented themselves in very low, very fallen, with a straw in the mouth. They offered the Dandava Pranam to Lord Chaitanya. We are so low, we are so fallen, we are so low class, untouchable, impure. We are outcast. Please give us your mercy. And Lord Chaitanya was so kind to them, Haridas Thakur also. He was Mlecha, Yamana family. But he became Namacharya, the Acharya, the teacher of the holy name of Krishna. He chanted non-stop, all the time practically, chanted the holy name of Krishna. So he became a great Acharya of the holy name, although he was not born in the Aryan or in Vedic culture. So the followers of the Vedas, they're very strict. They say you cannot become Brahmana in this life without, without qualification, without taking birth in Brahmana family. So they give blessing. In next life, or in 100 lifetimes, you will become a Brahmana. But then what is the use if you become a Brahmana and then you are not a Vaishnava? You will not you don't devote yourself, then that's also not the benefit. So therefore it's not the goal to become Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, elevated or whatever. So we have to surrender ourselves, the Sharanagati, to surrender to Krishna. And this everyone has to learn. If we are now in Papa Yonishu or in Punya Yonishu. If you are pious now or if you are impious, we all have to learn how to surrender. This is called Sharanagati. Surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, even if you are in the pious family, what's the use? Because piety is not the goal of life. We cannot attain Krishna by dana, by yagya, by charity, by very complicated Vedic sacrifices, by tapasya, by learnedness or education, jnana, or by yoga exercises, Astanga yoga. We cannot attain Krishna. We cannot impress him. Krishna is only impressed or conquered if we are surrendering to him with body, mind, and soul, and words. Then Krishna is yours. We cannot attain him by intellectual knowledge. We cannot attain him by bribing, giving him big donation. We cannot bribe God. He's already the richest. So we cannot get him on our side with money or with bribes, with big opulences. He's not impressed. Of course he will take it if the devotion is there. But if devotion is not there, he will not appreciate. Therefore, when Krishna went to Hastinapur, example, Hastinapur. So he went to the palace. He went there as a peacemaker for the Pandavas, interest, because Pandavas were his devotees. Duryodhana was the enemy of his devotees. He was not a bad king, Prabhupada told. But his big problem or disqualification was he was envious of Krishna's dear devotees. The Nitya Siddha devotees, Pandavas, Nitya associates. So Krishna decided to become a messenger for the pleasure or for the interest of his devotee, Yudhishthira Maharaj. Because he wanted to avoid the war. Some say, Krishna enforced the war, the Kurukshetra war. But actually he made so many attempts, to avoid it. The last attempt he made, was even he himself went to go to make peace and requested Duryodhana, for 5 villages for the Pandavas, right? But what Duryodhana told, no, I will not give them 5 villages. I will not give them even land what is fitting under the tip of a needle. But to speak of 5 villages. Lord Krishna only asked, give them 5 villages because they're Kshatriyas. They cannot work as Shudras or Vaishyas. They have to work as Kshatriyas. So give them something that they can rule and protect and take care according to their nature. No, not even the tip of the needle. I will give them land. And of course, Krishna, when Krishna came, he wanted to impress Krishna with big opulence. But Krishna was completely ignoring it because he thought, anyway, you don't want to surrender. Don't want to surrender to my devotee. You cannot impress me with your big opulences. So Krishna completely ignored him. And where he went? He went to Vidura's house. And Vidura was actually considered Shudra, for information. Although he was son of Vyasadeva. But because he begot this through the womb of a Shudrani. You know the story. So Vidura was actually mixed class. And he was considered not a Kshatriya, Kshatra Bandhu. Kshatra Bandhu is called, the relative of a Kshatriya. Because his bloodline was not pure Kshatriya. He had a mixture of Brahmana, Vyasadeva, and his mother, Shudra. Shudrani. And so therefore he actually was considered mixed caste. Kshatra Bandhu. But Lord Krishna visited Vidura, because Vidura was Mahatma. He was a great soul. He was completely devoted to Lord Krishna. And he accepted the food from him, from his own hand. Although there were Brahmanas in that house, in that palace of the Kauravas. There must be many Brahmanas. Why Lord Krishna didn't went to the Brahmanas' house to accept the food? So he went to Vidura's house to accept the food, because Vidura was his devotee. The Brahmanas were not his devotee, not his pure devotees. Therefore Krishna makes a clear point in these very important verses from 9th chapter, beginning with Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam, from that verses on, It's very important. Krishna gives very clear advice, how we can please him, how we can attain him. Very simple. Fruit, leaf, flower, but it should be offered not with pride, but with devotion, with love. Then I accept. And Krishna encouraged everyone to accept this process, because this process is not dependent on birthright. Even in the West, No. We say now, oh, the caste system in India, that's a problem. But in the West we also have it, but not in the name. Huh? If you're not well situated in a good family, unless you're very clever and very motivated, you cannot make it in high school. And even if you're in the high school, you will not make it in the best university or in the best, best grades. They will put you down. So even in the West, they make distinction. And who accept those who are of high class? They never would accept somebody in their association who is from lower class. Even in the West. So see Krishna. Krishna's mercy. He accepts everyone. The Stri Shudra Dvicha Bandhu. Therefore Mahabharata was written by Srila Vyasadeva to give everyone opportunity to understand Krishna, to come near to Krishna and to the Pandavas and to this bhakti process. The Stri Shudra Dvicha Bandhunam, because they are considered impure. And if you have impure habits, then you cannot meditate purely about Krishna. That means you must have some kind of motivation. So about Krishna, he says, even those classes of people, the Stri, Shudras, and Vaishyas, and Dvicha Bandhus, they can approach me, and I will accept them. And as Narad Muni told, it doesn't matter therefore the birth, it's the action, the quality. Like Gautama Muni. He was a famous Brahmana. He had a Gurukula. And there was one candidate who wanted to become his disciple. So Gautama asked him, what is your caste? Because he only accepted Brahmanas in the Brahmana Gurukula. So the boy told, oh, I don't know. Okay, Guru sent him home, Gautama sent him home. Go home, ask your mother, who is your father? Then you know what is your caste, if you know who is your father. So he went home, asked his mother, my dear mama, can you tell me who is my father? Mother said, oh sorry my dear son, I had so many lovers, I don't know exactly who is your father. Okay? The boy went back to Gautama and he told him, sorry, mother didn't know who is my father. So Gautama Muni became very happy and he told, that means you're a Brahmana. You know why? Because he was honest. You're honest. And honesty is the most important qualification of a Brahmana. Satya. Even in the national flag of India, it's Satyam Jayate. In the truth is the victory. Right? You're Indian?
Nepali.
Huh? Nepali, okay. Is it right? Satyam Jayate? Huh? Jayate. Jayate, okay. So that means in the truth is the supreme victory. Yeah? The victory is in the truth. And Vedic culture is based on truthfulness. And now Kali Yuga, through to Kali Yuga, the truthfulness became destroyed. More and more, although it's only leg what remained, but actually this becomes more and more cut down. So everyone becomes more or less more and more cheater. Cheating others and cheating yourself. Therefore only one choice. Even Bhagavad Gita people cannot understand. It's only mercy of Prabhupada, mercy of Lord Chaitanya, Mahakripa, Audarya. No? Okay, you don't want to take it anyway. That's the process. So the process will spread like a virus. This is the special Audarya Leela of Lord Chaitanya. As you maybe remember, as I told you, when Krishna wanted to go left from this world, he thought, oh, I didn't spread this Braja Bhakti so widely, only in Braj itself. So he considered what to do. I want to change that. I want to do something beneficial for everyone. So therefore, he came again as Lord Chaitanya, with Nityananda together. And Advaita Acharya. In a few days we have Advaita Acharya appearance day. He called the Lord down. Because he saw no other person who can help the degradation of the people in this time, even in his time, 5,000 years ago. It was so degraded. What to speak of now? So he asked only Lord Chaitanya, Krishna, you can come. Only if you can come, original Krishna, you can change it. I cannot. I only can destroy with my chakra, or burn everything to ashes. I cannot tolerate this situation. So you have to come. So Advaita Acharya, he was able to introduce Yuga Dharma, destroy demons, and practically everyone was behaving like a demon. He had to destroy and burn everything to ashes. So he thought, oh Krishna, you have to come yourself. You're only able. You're a touchstone. You can change, this rusty iron Kali Yuga, into gold. And therefore, on this request of Advaita Acharya, Krishna came, Radha Krishna, in one form, as most merciful Mahavadanya avatar. Now he gives Krishna Prem on this Krishna process, devotional service, bhakti, very easily to everyone, through book distribution, through the holy name, through Krishna Prasadam, through association of devotees. Everyone gets opportunity. So we are very fortunate, so that because there are so many who could not understand Bhagavad Gita, and it's not an easy book maybe to understand if you don't learn it and from a devotee, because one has to learn the Bhakti literatures or Bhagavad literature from devotee. Bhagavata Paradiya, Bhagavata Sthane. Otherwise we have no chance to understand and get the key inside. It is locked. So therefore only through Bhagavata devotee we can understand Bhagavata philosophy and knowledge. And Bhagavad knowledge is the supreme knowledge. But without the Bhagavata devotee, the living Bhagavat, we cannot enter. So therefore we have to connect with Bhagavat, with the Bhagavat Sampradaya, with the Acharya line coming from Vyasa, Krishna, Brahma, Vyasa, Narada, Madhava, Lord Chaitanya, Six Goswamis, the Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta, the Prabhupada, so in this way, and by Prabhupada's followers, who are all assisting Prabhupada to spread this Krishna consciousness and this bhakti process, they all become like living Bhagavatas, expansion of the Bhagavata devotee. If you live it, if you surrender to it without a false ego, and even if you have false ego, even if you have still motivation and feel unqualified or have desires and are not completely pure, then who was completely pure? Who is still completely pure? But still, mercy is so much here that Lord Chaitanya and the pure devotee accepting us and using us as instrument, in spreading the Sankirtan mission. This is most wonderful. This is most amazing. This is the greatest mercy that one has an opportunity. Although we are not pure devotee or a pure devotional platform, we have opportunity to serve. This is that's therefore the great mercy. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita is very merciful, but Chaitanya Charitamrita becomes more merciful because it teaches us by Lord Chaitanya and all the Bhagavata devotees and commentators like Prabhupada how to actually understand Krishna, how to serve him, and how actually to connect with him by the association of devotees, and in this way making our life sooner or later perfect. Okay, Hare Krishna. To stop here. Maybe any question? Comment? Yeah. Right.
You talk about the rasa today, very focused, and it's the holy lila. We know it's the rasa. The word rasa.
Ras.
I said I know that in Sanskrit the words and the sounds changing the meanings, and also Prabhupada explained by different directions. And I found in Bhagavatam rasa as humors.
Humors, yeah. Mellow, understand? But mellows. Humors or mellows.
So this is the meaning of
that's the meaning. Yeah, that's the most exact word what Prabhupada defined what is rasa. Although he told rasa is not exactly, we don't have find a fitting word. Who is explaining this because this kind of rasa is not existing here in this material world. Here is only a perverted reflection of this rasa. Actually, rasa is also here, but becomes impure. Because we also have, love between man and woman, marriage and unmarried, paternal relationship, mother with mother, father, child, friends relationship, servant and master relationship. So these rasas are also here, but it's only based on bodily conception.
Now you show me that it's like a humorous relation.
Now we have to translate or transform these humors in relation to Krishna. Because we have the tendency for rasa, because without rasa as a living entity you cannot exist, otherwise you are a stone. Therefore Lord Chaitanya or was it Nityananda, when he met the Buddhists in South India, he kicked them in the head because their head was like stone, like a statue. There was no emotion in it, no mellow. So therefore he kicked them, because they could not appreciate the Sankirtan movement and the mellows of pure devotional service. They thought this is all Maya, this is what we reject. We reject emotion. The Buddhists want to make everything emotionless, make the mind empty. But the devotee wants to fill up the mind, with Krishna conscious mellow. That's the difference. Now we understand the difference between Buddhism and Vaishnavism. Yeah, they want to make everything empty, zero. Nirvishesha Sunyavadi. Mayavadi is also, ultimately. Although some of them, they chant mantras and they worship deities, but this is only temporary. This is not the same. They don't have devotion for it. Because they ultimately don't believe in the deity. They only accept the deity as a neophyte process, that they become deity or the mantra yourself. You become God yourself. And then they give up. With the argument, if a clay pot is empty, then it makes sound. But if it is filled up, it is not it doesn't give a sound anymore. So if we become Brahman ourselves, filled up with Brahman, we don't have to make chanting mantras or any kind of sound. So Padmadvacharya, he countered this argument in saying, sorry, my dear sirs, we are not, this argument we cannot, this example we cannot accept, because we are human beings or living entities, they are not clay pots. For a clay pot, this is maybe possible, but we are not a clay pot, because in this body is a living entity. In the clay pot is no living entity. There's no jiva in the clay pot, but in this human body, as long the body is alive, the jiva is there, the atma. Of course, later on, if the jiva is not there, then he's not different from the clay pot. But as long the clay pot is used with the jiva, the body, then we cannot exemplify it, equalize it with the clay pot. So it's a valid argument, because the jiva is not a clay pot. Rasa is the most pure, most, and in the same time, the most natural. It's the most natural, and it's so natural that the jnanis and the yogis cannot accept it, because they wanted to make it complicated. Understand? They think how yoga can be so cheap, so natural, and so simple, without tapasya, without strict rules, regulations, of sense and mind control. How is it possible that your bhakti yogis can take this so easy, so simple? They cannot. We have such a strict discipline, But what they become more like statue, because no rasa. Because the rasa they want to kick out. It's Maya. Rasa is Maya. No? Yes, rasa is Maya as long as it is directed to the material nature. But if rasa is directed to Krishna, or if actually connected with the bhakti rasa, actually you cannot develop rasa yourself, although it's in you. But it has to be reawakened by coming in contact with bhakti rasa coming from Bhakti Devi. Therefore it's so important to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra without offense. Because the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and this Bhagavad Katha in the association of devotees is electrifying practically your dead heart, and wakes up, your sleeping bhakti. Gives you an infusion, electricizing infusion, so that bhakti will flow. Now it's blockaded because we are mostly, there are different levels of consciousnness. Our level of consciousness is maybe a little more than just like plant. Before the plant is, how is it called? No, the bud. No, and then maybe it's opened like that, and it's like that, and then fully opened. So animals and plants, they have shrinked consciousness. Their consciousness is shrinked. It's not developed. And if the human being have a human body, but is not waking up to the spiritual platform, then he practically is not much different from animal. then his consciousness is still shrinked. It's just acting on different level, but still the same thing. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. But if you wake up, therefore, blossoming the lotus flower, that it will at least open and then fully blossom, then the fragrance rasa appears. And the shrinked, no rasa. In the bud stage, also no rasa. In half open, not real rasa. If it is fully open, then the full fragrance of the lotus becomes manifested and spread. Everyone can smell the beautiful flower in all directions. So as long our consciousness is shrinked and not fully blossomed, we have no rasa. It's only imitation or material sense gratification rasa, based on sex and sense gratification. But as long you have this attachment to this kind of sense gratification, it's like attachment to rusty iron. And rasa, a pure love to Krishna, is like gold, pure gold. So both are metals, but you cannot, equalize them. You cannot compare. The iron,
Intimus relation.
Yeah, the iron is low, useless metal. Gold is very well.
Don't conduct, right? The conduction changes.
Yes. And Krishna or Lord Chaitanya and the holy name, who is not different from them, is like Chintamani. It's like a touchstone. So if you come in contact with them, it turns your rusty iron heart into gold. But you have to stay a long time serious in the process with devotees, followed sadhana bhakti, according to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion. Therefore Prabhupada, he gave us this book.
Then finish in the library. When I come to buy, finish Nectar of Devotion.
You read this book?
No, not yet. I come to buy and the book finish in the
Yeah.
Really good.
Don't finish that book. As soon as you are finished, you start again. That's the book what you always read. This is standard, this is elixir. It's Rasamrita. Rasamrita. That's the proper word. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It's the ocean. The original title of Nectar of Devotion is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It's the ocean or nectar of nectarian ocean of mellows. Of mellows. Bhakti of Bhakti. Mellows of Bhakti, of course. Bhakti, Rasa, Amrita, Sindhu. Sindhu is ocean, Amrita means nectar. Rasa means mellow, Bhakti, means love or devotion to Krishna, ecstatic love. So it explains Bhakti, the Bhakti path completely from beginning to the end. Sadhana Bhakti, that means Vaidhi Bhakti and Raga Bhakti. This is Sadhana Bhakti, then Bhava Bhakti, and then Prema Bhakti. Three levels of Bhakti. And a certain level of Bhakti, you cannot describe it anymore so much. So because it's Rasa. Then it's right. Then you don't preach. This you don't preach. Therefore, Rasa Bhakti you don't preach. Sadhana Bhakti you can preach, but Rasa you keep confidential. You don't speak this with everyone.
And they used to.
Because if you preach Rasa Bhakti, your confidential realization of Bhakti from your heart to somebody else, you may lose it. Therefore, be careful. Therefore you should not speak about Rasa Bhakti only with somebody maybe confidential who understands you, who is on the same level. But you don't preach that. Rasa Bhakti should not be preached. No. Because Rasa Bhakti will appear through Sadhana Bhakti. No. It will not appear just by spreading Rasa Bhakti directly. We have to go through Sadhana Bhakti and then gradually become purified, and then Rasa can appear. Rasa means taste. As long your senses and heart is not purified, what you're tasting? What is your taste? Only lower taste. But relishing higher taste, you have to have mode of goodness, and even that is not sufficient. You need transcendental mode of goodness, Shuddha Sattva, Shuddha Sattva. That means the purified goodness. It's not the material goodness.
In the Gita, Krishna is very clear that we need to transcend the three gunas, right?
Yeah, Triguna, Vishaya, Veda, Nishtra Guna, Bhavachana. Yeah.
And then we arrive in Sattva, Sadhana.
Yeah. But how to transcend? By surrendering to Krishna. By surrendering to the holy name, surrendering to the Bhagavad devotee. Because by this surrendering process, by giving yourself, surrender means you give yourself freely. You're not yours anymore. You belong to Krishna, you belong to your spiritual master, you belong to this process of bhakti. Then bhakti will act in you and will make this miracle. The miracle you cannot make yourself, you cannot create yourself. It will manifest by Krishna's and by Radharani's and their eternal associates' mercy, and by the process of bhakti, who is not different from Radha Krishna. This will manifest. Okay. Clear, more or less?
Thank you very much.
You're from Italy?
Brazil.
Oh, everything clear. Rasa. So, Brazilians, very nice heart, very emotional, but only on football, and samba and so like that. So if they transform it, into Krishna Bhakti, it's very great. They become the greatest devotees. Because they have this, I would say, life energy, to enjoy, on the material level. So if they can do it for Krishna, they become very great.
And we have the natural,
Yeah, you have the natural facility for it.
Yes. We are losing a little bit because of Greek development, progress idea, but we're still fighting for keep.
And because Brazil was previously connected with India.
Yeah, I heard this yesterday.
Yes.
Actually, I didn't know. I thought it was Africa, but it's like
Africa, no, Brazil. Was connected with Brazil. Not with Africa. No. Maybe Africa a little, but Brazil fully. Therefore you got the emotions from here maybe,
Brazil, it's the age of Chaitanya. It's 50 years.
Yeah, because Indians, nobody can, this life energy of life joy, of India, nobody can like that. Yeah. Therefore, Brazil a little similar like India, because he had some connection with India. And so you got some spark jumped over there. What is this? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu? No. Nectar of the ocean?
Imagine food like this.
What is it? That's also good, but you should read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion. That's also nice.
Yeah,
That's good to read. Yeah. That's good.
I'm receiving a lot of blessings.